Hey, hey, hey!
Hey everybody, it is Friday already. Friday, September 16th, 2016.
9/16/16.
And this week has gone quick.
It's gone by pretty fast. We're about halfway through our 2 weeks that we have off to get the farmhouse set up and get somewhat settled before Bill has to go back to work. So we are off to a much better start this morning than yesterday though.
Yes.
Yesterday, you guys remember we had the folks that were going to do our hardwood flooring, I guess somewhere in the process of the last 3 or 4 days got super backed up. And so they weren't going to be able to come do the floors until October, the end of October. And that wasn't going to work.
No.
So we went into a bit of a panic mode yesterday. Didn't have a lot of time for pictures or video because it's not really pretty with me standing on the phone and on the computer trying to figure all this stuff out. But everything happens for a reason. And we ended up finding some guys that we are super stoked to work with. Not only do they refinish floors, but
they salvage wood from barns.
They're like our people. Yeah, they salvage barn wood. They do like custom cabinetry and kitchen islands and furniture, and they're really passionate about salvaging like the old world charm and that sort of stuff. So they really got us. Like they get it.
With really great ideas for what we could do for our floors.
Yeah, some really cool techniques that, you know, it's not just your traditional stain and poly. You know, he has some really great ideas to help us achieve the look that we really want and to kind of like revitalize the beauty of the hardwood floors that we have downstairs. So we were really excited when he came out yesterday and kind of talked to us about what we could do with the floors. So so everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So that's why that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So they're going to start work on Monday.
Right.
Yeah, on Monday.
On Monday we got
floors.
a lot of people coming.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that on Monday.
Right. But and then we did finish the second of the 3 storage pods.
Moving on.
Yeah, and we actually started unloading some boxes.
We did. So we, the way we're kind of tackling this is like pulling everything out of the storage unit, just strewing it across, is that a word?
Sure.
Strewing it across the yard and like sorting it out. So, you know, this stuff's going in the barn, this stuff's going in the house, this stuff is going to the shop. And then we kind of disperse it all. Well, we had a lot of stuff that was going into the house that was going in like kitchen cabinets and the laundry room cabinets and things like that. So we got to actually start unpacking some boxes. Yeah. And that really kind of, I think that in combination with a couple other things yesterday was the first time that I felt like, okay, this is starting to kind of feel like home. Not like we're doing all this work
to someone else's place.
Yeah, to somebody else's house. So as we started putting stuff in cabinets and kind of getting a little bit more settled, or not even a little more settled, but just starting that process.
Starting the process.
Made it feel a little bit more like home.
Yeah, because up until yesterday, we haven't put anything really into the house.
We've just been working on it.
Right. Painting
and doing contracting work and putting an HVAC system and doing electrical and all this kind of stuff. So it really kind of felt like we were doing all of that in somebody else's house.
Yeah.
So, but we do have plans to move in, hopefully this weekend or the first part of the week. So, we'll tell you guys all about that when and if it happens.
It'll happen.
But we had a couple of really fun encounters yesterday, which also kind of made it feel a little more like home. One of the things that we loved about buying this property is that it is out in the country and you do have that country life.
And that was evident yesterday.
Yeah.
When we were unloading one of the storage pods, bins,
units, boxes, cubes.
A car pulled into the driveway, and while we were expecting contractors, they weren't supposed to be here for another 45 minutes or so. And we're like, man, they're early. And then we went down to start talking to them, and it was just the neighbor.
Yeah.
From down the road. He knew the former owners and saw that the sign had for sale sign had been up, and then now it's gone, and he saw some cars here, so he decided to pop in and say hello.
I mean, city folk don't do that.
No.
You know, like, I mean, that's not how it is. But interesting story of who this guy was. I guess a condensed version. We'll show you guys later the kitchen cabinets that we have in the kitchen, but the former owner built those cabinets using salvaged wood from an old barn that is not too far away. Well, it just so happens that the gentleman that came by yesterday owns that barn.
Right.
And they have, I haven't seen it yet, we want to drive down and check it out, but they have what I'm assuming is an historic house that they've turned into a bed and breakfast. And the former owner also did a lot of work in that bed and breakfast.
And he also did a lot of work here.
He
as
did.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He helped the former owner put the roof on the house,
Yeah.
and he also helped put the concrete slab down for the basketball court, which
Yeah.
is where our pods are sitting.
Yep.
the
And the kids' tree house.
Yeah.
There used to be a tree house, but the tree I think kind of rotted
And then fell down.
yeah, so the tree house came down with it. But he helped build that, and so anyway, so he's obviously like really close to the folks who lived here before us. And so it was really great to have him stop by and just say hello and introduce himself, and you know, so that kind of made us feel more like part of the community. Yeah, because I mean, we are fairly spread out, so unless you drive down somebody's long dirt gravel driveway, it ain't like you're gonna see somebody when you're checking your mail, because everything's really spread out. But having him stop by rather, kind of like lit a spark, because on the day before we closed on the property, so this past Sunday, I wanted to do just a little something for the people that we bought the house from, because they have been super nice to us, still are, and just taught us so much about the history out here and just a lot of stuff. It wasn't a traditional buy and sell. And so anyway, so I decided that I would make them an apple pie. And so when I made theirs, that turned into 2, because then I made one for our parents.
And then there was leftover pie filling, so it became 3.
Yeah, so I wanted to make one for some neighbors across the street that have the cattle farm, because I love the cows, and I mean, and I love them too, but but at that point we hadn't met them yet. All I really loved at that point were the cows. But anyway, we had met them before we closed on the property. She came over and introduced herself and everything, and I know that traditionally it's kind of the other way around. Like,
we do things a little backwards sometimes.
But I really wanted to move to the country and bake an apple pie for a neighbor. And so anyway, so our one apple pie turned into 3 apple pies, but the one for the neighbors across the street had been in the refrigerator since Monday, and this was yesterday, Thursday. And I thought one of 2 things needs to happen. Either we need to A, get this thing over there, or B, we gonna eat it, because it's gonna go bad if we don't, you know, get it over to them. But it's a little intimidating when you don't really know these people, and you know they're super nice people, but I mean, they have this long gravel driveway.
Their driveway
like, they're way off the road.
Probably about a half mile long. It's really long.
Yeah, and you just feel a little awkward, like pulling down a stranger's driveway. And so, but after we had the guy stop by and introduce himself to us, then that kind of like sparked the fire that, you know what, we need to drive down that driveway and take them this apple pie. So, so we did that, and their house has probably like 6 doors on it. So,
and it's the country, so you don't really know which door to go to. It's not like in a subdivision where it's the door in the front of the house. The only door
on the front, yeah.
In the country, it's usually the side door or the back door.
Or the, and so we just kind of picked a door. It was open, and so we thought, okay, maybe this is the door. So we went and we knocked, and we stood there with our little pie. It was actually a big pie. It was a really good pie. But nobody came to the door, and so we were like, oh man, well, they got to be here because their door is standing wide open. So so we decided that we'd walk around to the back and see if maybe we saw somebody or heard somebody. And so we went around back, and they were outside.
Yeah.
So that helped with the awkward factor. So we just kind of walked around and we're like, knock, knock. And so anyways, it turned out to be a great little visit. She wanted us to come inside. She showed us her house, and they loved the apple pie. And then her husband was telling us, you know, we were kind of talking about how we love old stuff. And so he took us out to his barn and showed us some of his old farm implements.
Old farm stuff, yeah.
That he had collected over the years. And see, the folks that live across the street, they are cooks. And if you guys remember, the Cook family is who owned our house before, well, not right before we purchased it, but the original owners were cooks. Right. So this was all like the Cook family farm. And I mean, I don't even know how many acres, but I mean a lot of acres of land that they all farmed out here. And so when the Cook family here was ready to sell their property, then the folks we bought it from them. Yeah. So essentially we're living on their land, or their family's land, from way back in the day. So anyway, just a little history tidbit for you. But it's really cool, and they are such nice people, and it was such a nice little visit. And then we had to hustle off because, you know, we were unpacking and stuff. So but those two things, in addition to unpacking some boxes, really kind of made it start to feel like home. And that's a really good feeling when you've got a week of work under your belt to kind of start to feel like it's your house.
So today we're going to work on the last of the storage containers, and it's also the biggest one.
Save the biggest for last.
Easily twice the size of the ones that we've already done.
Yeah, it's the one that's kind of like the back of an 18-wheeler.
Yeah,
like
it's a giant shipping container. And then later today.
Yeah, so we've
got a surprise.
Yeah, we haven't told you guys about this, but we told you that there was a horse barn here on the property. That's what's behind us right here is the horse barn. And was it 2 days ago we cleaned out the horse barn?
Yeah.
So that was a couple days ago. Well, anyway.
Dirty and dusty that was.
Yeah, it was. So behind the horse barn, when we came to look at the property, we saw that there was something that really intrigued us.
Yes.
And we weren't sure if the former owners wanted it, or if it came with the house, or what the deal was. But we voiced our interest in it right away if it were up for sale or as part of the property. And as it turns out, it's been in their family for quite some time, so we were a little fearful that they probably wouldn't want to part with it. But as it turns out, they do want to part with it. And
Can you see it? It's right here.
We have purchased it, and today we will go sign the final papers. So Bill has been strategically standing right here to kind of block the view, and this is it. A camper!
It's our own little Shasta camper.
A Shasta camper. What are the odds? You guys...
It even has the wings on it.
Yeah, it's so cool. And to be honest with you, they've already kind of done all the hard work.
Yeah.
Because they have, they've gutted the inside of it so that they could get to all the electrical. So they redid all the wiring for us. And all of there were some leaks in the ceiling, so they have reframed that out. They took the windows out, put them back in, resealed them. So they've done all the fixing up parts. So now all we have to do is just make it look pretty.
Yep.
So we get to just put all the finishing touches, put the new walls in, put the floor in, paint it, and
go camping.
It's good to go. Yeah, so it's a 1969 Shasta camper. And so the family, it's been in their family since the very beginning when it was purchased. So they still have the original purchase documents,
the original
the advertisements, and most importantly, they have a title.
Yes.
Because you guys know our dilemma before.
With titles.
With
and
titles.
Campers.
Yeah, because most of the time when you buy these old campers, they don't have titles. And in North Carolina, getting a title is a nightmare. And so, so they have the title and all the old documents and the advertisements and
the original avocado green ice box
Yep.
and range, and it's an ice box.
And the stove, yeah.
You need a block of ice
Yeah.
to make it work.
Yeah, but I mean, everything, you know, all the original stuff that he took out, he took really good care of. It's being stored inside of the larger barn. And so, I mean, it's great. So, so this evening we will go and finalize the paperwork on that.
Yep.
And we're really excited about it because this will be great for when we go out and do our picking adventures.
Because we won't have to stay in a
hotel. I mean, I don't know about the 127 yard sale and pulling a camper like this.
That might be a bit challenging.
But regardless, when we go up north or we go other places, it'll be great. It'll be so much fun. We might break it out over at the shop, or I mean, who knows what we'll do with it. But I mean, it's just another one of those things where this property really was kind of like a meant to be situation, and we don't take it lightly. We don't, you know, we're not boasting in any way. We just feel extremely fortunate, that we were able to get it. So anyway, so that is our exciting news for today, is that we will finalize the purchase of the Shasta camper. And the not so exciting news is that we have to crack open this gigantic storage unit. But we did confirm our movers this morning that will be moving the stuff out of our apartment. Yep, so that will happen this weekend. We confirmed our U-Haul yesterday, so we will pick up the U-Haul on Saturday, which is tomorrow. I speak as if it's like days in the future, but that would be tomorrow. So yeah, and then next week, Monday, starts a whole slew of other things that we will tell you guys about then.
Should we tell them real quick about the lock?
Oh gosh, on the doors?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
these door locks. Oh.
No, not those.
What are you talking about?
The lock on the box.
Oh, well, the door locks are an issue too, because we've attempted to put them on like 4 different times. And
yeah, the deadbolt situation. I need to.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
when we got the storage units here, we have a key ring that's got all the keys for the 3 storage units, and one of the locks was not opening. And we tried.
As luck would have it.
Right. We tried all the keys. Only like one of them would go into the lock and it wouldn't turn. And I was pretty sure we had bought a 2-pack of these locks. And the other one that matched it opened. And I was pretty sure it was the same key. And
I wasn't.
She wasn't.
I was totally doubting him, and like
we were thinking we're gonna have to go back to the apartment and scour the place trying to figure out.
He was talking about breaking out
we were gonna get the angle grinder and chop the lock off.
We ain't got no time to be grinding locks.
And luckily, right before we left.
Well, because we were trying that during the day.
Yeah, during the day when the sun was hottest, shining right on the things. And it wasn't working at all. And it was really hot. And so you would work on it for like 2 minutes and be like, I can't take it. And
we were so annoyed.
But then right before we left, I tried it again. And
in the evening.
It was evening. It had started to cool down. And I think it cooled down just enough that when I turned the key, I felt it give a little bit. And I got really excited. And so then I got it open all the rest of the way. And
it hasn't been back on since.
No.
Because we're like, we ain't putting that one back on. So we just put a different one on.
Yeah. So that was one adventure.
Yeah. I don't know what we would have done, because I mean, really, we ain't got time to be trying to grind a lock off of a storage unit.
No.
So yeah, so needless to say, our morning won't be nearly as difficult as we thought it may have been if we couldn't have gotten the lock off of the big storage unit. So yeah, so the lock is off and it's ready for us to come tackle. And so
let's get to it before the sun gets over there.
Yeah, because right now it's still in the shade. So yeah. All right, guys, so that is our Friday, and we will check back in with you guys tomorrow and let you know how things go. See ya.
See ya.